Have you ever dreamed of a hot, warm, sunny Christmas in New Zealand? Well, there's a lot of really cool reasons to be excited, except there's a lot of things that can completely ruin your holiday if you don't know how to plan here. It's a unique environment, and having lived here 7 years, I can tell you that if you don't do it correctly, Christmas will not be as fun as you think it is. But before I get into that, let me show you some of the things that you should get excited about. There's a lot. Just north of Gisborne on the east coast of New Zealand and just north of New Plymouth on the west coast of New Zealand, just for the month of December and a little bit of January, this tree behind me, the Puda Cow, will blossom these beautiful bright red flowers. And it's called the New Zealand Christmas tree for exactly that reason. Now, the Puda Cow tree is also special for a couple other reasons. In Maori legend, up north at Cape Rango, there's one Puda Cow tree. It's 800 years old. It's slightly listing with a little bit. And the legend has it that this tree is the protector of the opening of a cave where all bodies or all spirits pass through after they die onto the next world. And this tree is the protector of the opening of that cave. The Puda Cow is also really famous in New Zealand because it used to be the marker of when they should harvest their crops. Whenever it would flower, that was the time to harvest. So if you come here in December, you get to see New Zealand's coastlines absolutely beautiful and red. It's amazing, totally worth it, just for that one thing, to be honest. If the stars align and the weather is sunny, pretty much every New Zealander will be at the beach over Christmas. They will be having a barbecue and getting into the warm water, which will be this beautiful emerald blue. And if you're lucky, you might see some dolphins passing through the coastline. It's as amazing as it sounds. But if you find yourself in a city like Auckland, Christchurch, Hamilton, Wellington, it's going to be an absolute ghost town over Christmas. Up until New Year's, actually. I remember Christmas 2018, I invited a bunch of friends to come visit me here in New Zealand, and I went to Auckland's most popular beach, Mission Bay, and there wasn't a single soul there. It was just me and my friends and the clientele, and not a single other person on the entire beach or in that bar. It was absolutely crazy. The benefit of this, of course, is that if you come to Auckland over Christmas, you get everything to yourself, and some of the key sites like the Auckland Domain are still open. While it is true that absolutely nothing in New Zealand can kill you, there are quite a few things that can completely ruin your Christmas trip. And one of them, far worse than mosquitoes. They leave you with these tiny little welts all over your ankles and all over your back and your hand. Sandflies. They are absolutely awful, and they're everywhere. They tend, I've seen them, to live in the sand, but even out here with no sand around, you'll get sandflies. It sucks. And there's places on the South Island where they will be so bad that the only thing you can do is climb inside your tent. A bird pooped on the ceiling right up there. That kind of sucks. Now, they can be repelled using the same things that will repel a mosquito, but a little bit less effectively. They are awful. I'm really sorry that your bird experienced that. Like anywhere in the world, the shopping centers are going to be absolutely crazy. But in New Zealand, it's particularly worse for one or two very important reasons. Can't believe there's already Christmas trees up and all the shops are already stocking up on their Christmas supplies. It's November 6th today. All of these shops behind me will absolutely close on Christmas Day. Even the big ones like the Warehouse or Countdown or New World. It's one of the things that I love and hate about New Zealand is that they honor time off, but it does mean that everything's closed and it can be really hard to grab things last minute. The other thing is places like this, they're always seem to be understaffed, so you're constantly trying to find stock that's run out, and it can be a little annoying. Despite the big stores being closed on Christmas Day, these little cornered areas, superettes, those will be open, but they run out of stock fast because everyone's going to be trying to get last minute items, and one thing they always run out of is ice. Despite December 1st being the first day of Kiwi summer and December 21st being the longest day of the year here in New Zealand because we're in the southern hemisphere, December has some crazy weather. I think only one year, last year, did it not rain on Christmas Day, so you need to come prepared with your rain jacket. It rains all the time here. But it is really mild in December. It's pretty warm and you can swim in the water, which is really the most important thing.
This is amazing!
You should expect between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, which is about 68 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and Just be prepared for any weather in December. And I don't care if there's clouds in the sky, please protect your skin and put some sunscreen on. And UVB or UVA, I don't know which one it is, gets right through the clouds and you will burn. It is the highest rate of skin cancer per capita in the world is right here in New Zealand. Within a 2 to 3 hour radius of your big cities, Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, all of the big ones, all of the campsites are going to be completely booked for Christmas. In fact, it's so bad that you want to make sure you book your campsites about 4 to 6 months in advance of Christmas Day. And New Year's actually. New Year's is way worse than Christmas Day. If you decide to do a first come, first serve, you want to make sure you show up a few days prior because people just take those spots immediately. All of this is even more true if you have a dog, because there's very few dog-friendly campsites in New Zealand. And in fact, a lot of campsites that are dog-friendly become not dog-friendly over those specific days. I think like December 20th to December 20th to January 20th. But, you know, the other side to the coin is that that's really like the Kiwi feel. Right? If you want to have a real true Kiwi Christmas, you're going to have tents on each side of you and people are going to be super friendly, and especially if they find out you're a foreigner in this new place, they're going to invite you over for their traditional Kiwi pavlova or whatever it is that they're eating. It feels very friendly and lovely, not remote at all. There are places you can go, there are some secret spots that if you want to reach out I can tell you about, but a Kiwi Christmas is one where you're surrounded by tents. In the days leading up to Christmas, the roads become absolutely crazy. Partly because they're just not equipped for the level of traffic that happens over Christmas season. They're just not, like, they're not wide enough, there's not enough lanes, and everybody is trying to get out of the city. I think probably anywhere in the world this is true, but particularly so in New Zealand because the culture is about being outdoors, and Christmas is warm, so everyone's going camping. So, because New Zealand was settled by British colonists, like a lot of other places that were also settled by the British, like the US for example, they eat turkey and ham. And so it's very similar food to like Christmas in the Northern Hemisphere. However, there are some key differences. One of them is that here they will eat kumara, which is kind of like sweet potato, and they'll cut up a lot of dishes. They'll have a lot of salads. That's a big one because it's summer and they want to have, you know, cool, not very heavy things. And also pavlova. Pavlova is so delicious. It's like this creamy strawberry dessert. It's lovely. The Kiwis say they made it, so do the Australians. I don't know which is true. I'm gonna side with the Kiwis because they're very close to me right now. They might stomp at my door. Just kidding. And then if you're Maori, of course, you might have a hangi. So hangi is an underground oven, and that's how they would cook their food. It's delicious. I've had it before and it's lovely. For a lot of people, that first Christmas in New Zealand is super exciting and it is just absolutely amazing. But Christmas in New Zealand is not easy if you are from the Northern Hemisphere. It's inevitable that eventually you will start missing home over Christmas because it's the holidays and most of us are used to being around family over the holidays. The warmth will just completely confuse your mind. It just won't have the same feel. It won't feel like Christmas. Those of us who are born on the Northern Hemisphere, you're actually gonna miss the darkness and the snow because there's nothing quite like a cozy fire and like, you know, snow on Christmas. It's amazing. It feels like Christmas. And so I would say that if you are here over the Christmas season, and particularly if you're going to be moving and living in New Zealand long term, put up your decorations and get yourself a stocking and put up a tree and try to mimic or repeat traditions that you did back in your home country, or even create new traditions here. Because every time you do that, and every time you celebrate Christmas, you're bringing back a little bit of that homely feeling. And the goal, if you're trying to live in New Zealand, is to make it feel like a home. And every time you shrug it off and you say, oh, it's not a big deal, I don't have anyone to celebrate with, it's just me, etc., etc., you're making your experience in New Zealand just a little bit less pleasant. And it adds up over time, and it means that you're more likely to not feel like home here, and you're just gonna go home. So if you can do something to make it more pleasant, why wouldn't you, right? So do it for me, do it for yourself. Hopefully you do it for yourself more than me, but put up your Christmas tree this year. If you've been following my story for a while now, you will know that Christmases have not been very easy for a very long time. 2 Christmases ago, I was the caregiver in a life-threatening situation, and I was in the hospital for a surgery that was supposed to save that person's life. And then last Christmas, I actually spent alone. It wasn't that bad though, to be fair. It was really enjoyable. But you know, Christmas is typically a time that we're around other people. So I'm really excited that this Christmas I am going to be around other people, a lot of really special people to me, and I'm going to repeat and relive a tradition that I've had for many, many years now, where I'm going to put goodies in this stocking here and I'm going to exchange it with someone else, and that is something that always makes me feel like it is the Christmas time. I will be out camping, so if you happen to see me, come say Merry Christmas and I will give you a big ol' hug because I love Christmas so much. And Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you enjoy your Christmas in New Zealand. It's freaking awesome here. Different, but freaking awesome.